My name is Cassandra, and I was the family secret keeper. For years, I held their shame so they could shine. Then, my own sister decided my silence was a threat to her perfect life. She targeted my reputation to bury me forever. So, I did the only thing left. I dismantled the legacy they spent a lifetime building. My name is Cassandra Reynolds, but in my family, I've always been the quiet one. Cassandra, be a dear and fetch your father's briefcase from the study, Mom said, not looking up from her tablet. The car will be here for the gala in 20 minutes. I found the briefcase. And the empty crystal decanter beside it. I wiped it clean and put it back in the cabinet. Thanks, kiddo, Dad whispered later, squeezing my shoulder in the back of the limo. His breath smelled of mint, trying to mask the gin. Of course, I whispered back. At the gala, Madison was holding court. The foundation's outreach is simply expanding exponentially, she chirped to a circle of donors, her laugh like perfect wind chimes. I stood by the pillar, my usual post. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else, a voice beside me said. It was Liam, a friend of the event coordinator. I do? I asked, flustered. Yeah. It's in your eyes. They're doing one thing, your smile's doing another. No one had ever seen that before. We talked all night. He asked about me. Weeks later, Madison cornered me in the kitchen. So, you and the hired help's friend? Cute. He's an architect, Madison. Even cuter. Just don't get too serious, Cass. It doesn't fit the narrative. What narrative? She waved a manicured hand. The family narrative. You're the artsy one. The sweet, quiet one. Not the one who brings some random to Christmas. But I brought him to dinner. A month later. An architect, Dad said, shaking Liam's hand. Solid profession. Thank you, sir. It's a passion. Mom's smile was tight. And how did you two meet again? At the spring gala, Mrs. Reynolds. I was captivated. I saw Madison's eyes narrow over her wine glass. After that, Liam was my escape. In his apartment, with his mismatched mugs and loud, laughing family video calls, I could breathe. I started painting again, real, messy, emotional pieces I hid in his closet. One night, after a silent family dinner where Mom critiqued my hair, Liam held my face. You know their opinion isn't law, right? I cried then. He just held me. That's why I said yes when he proposed. A simple question in a park, no ring, just his hopeful eyes. I felt a joy so sharp it was terrifying. We should tell them together, I said, giddy. Are you sure? I want to. It's my life. We scheduled a dinner. Formal, Mom had insisted. Your father has news. We sat in the dining room under the cold chandelier. Dad cleared his throat. I've been asked to chair the city planning board, he announced. Richard, that's wonderful. Mom beamed. The press coverage will be excellent for the foundation. Congratulations, Dad, Madison said. A perfect fit. They all looked at me. My cue. I have news too, I said. My voice sounded small. Liam's hand found mine under the table. Liam and I are engaged. The silence was a physical thing. It swallowed the room. Mom set her fork down. Engaged. Yes, Liam said, his voice firm. I love your daughter very much. Dad took a long sip of water. Madison's smile was a frozen, plastic thing that didn't touch her eyes. Well, Mom finally said. That's sudden. Isn't it sudden, Cassandra? It's not, I said. We'll need to discuss the logistics, she said. The prenup, of course. The public announcement timeline. We'll handle it. Mom, we just want to be happy, I whispered. Happy is one thing, Madison said softly, her gaze fixed on me. Smart is another. You have to be smart, Cassie. The rest of the meal passed in a blur of pointed questions about Liam's finances and suitable venues. In the foyer later, as Liam went to get the car, Madison squeezed my arm, her grip too tight. You really sprung that on us, she hissed, her sweet public mask gone. Did you even think? Think about what? About us, she said. Everything is connected. Your choices reflect on all of us now. You need to remember your place. She walked away. I stood there, the cold marble seeping through my shoes. The cage door hadn't just locked. I felt the deadbolt slide home. The sabotage started with whispers. Has anyone seen my sapphire earring? Mom asked at brunch, her eyes scanning the table. The antique ones. I left them on my vanity. I haven't, I said. Madison sighed. You were in there yesterday, Cass. Looking for aspirin. I didn't touch them. No one's accusing you, Dad said, not looking up from his paper. But they were. The earring was found a week later, tucked in a drawer. Mom never apologized. Then came the comments about my art. Your new pieces are so dark, Madison mused, scrolling through my private Instagram. Almost chaotic. Are you feeling okay? They're expressive. It's called having emotions. Of course. It's just, people might misinterpret. Think you're unstable. I shook it off. I had Liam. I had Dr. Evans, my therapist. I'd started seeing her after the engagement dinner, my anxiety spiking. Only Madison knew. My family is just a lot, I'd told her in a late-night call, crying. Oh, Cassie. You have to protect your peace. Don't let them in. At Madison's birthday party, the ballroom was packed. She found me by the balcony doors, her face a mask of concern. Can we talk? Privately? We slipped into a vacant coat room. She immediately clutched my hands, her eyes welling up. Cassie, I'm so worried. About what? People are talking. It's ugly. They're saying you're seeing a therapist because you have a problem with pills. That you're erratic. That Liam's trying to manage it. The floor dropped. That's not true. You know why I see Dr. Evans. I know. But I didn't tell anyone. Someone else must have found out. I'm scared for you. This could ruin everything for you. And for Liam. I felt dizzy. Who's saying this? It's just the grapevine. But it's spreading. You need to be careful. She hugged me, her perfume suffocating. I'm just trying to protect you. The rumors became fact within weeks. I felt the stares at the country club. My friend Chloe called. Hey, just checking in. Heard you were having a rough time. I'm fine. What did you hear? Just that you were under a lot of pressure. Maybe not yourself. Her voice was strained. We should do lunch when you're feeling better. She never called back. Then Liam sat me down, his face grim. My mom got an email. Anonymous. What did it say? As someone concerned for your son, I feel obligated to share that Cassandra Reynolds has a documented dependency issue and is in treatment. The family is covering it up. He took my hand. I told them it was a vicious lie. But they're shaken. I felt numb. Hollowed out. The final blow came in my parents' sitting room. Mom's expression was clinical. Dad studied the carpet. We think you should postpone the wedding, Mom said. What? For the family's sake. These rumors, they're impacting the foundation. Madison's chairmanship vote is next month. Her reputation is suffering by association. I stared at her. You believe them? You believe I'm some addict? It doesn't matter what we believe, Dad said softly. It's about perception. Madison started this. The words tore out of me. She's the only one who knew about my therapy. Mom's face hardened. Don't be paranoid. Your sister is trying to protect this family. You need to consider your role in this. Postpone. Get help publicly. Fix this. I looked from her stony eyes to Dad's defeated posture. My own mother. Choosing my sister's lie. Choosing the legacy over me. A strange calm washed over me, freezing the hot panic in my veins. The girl who kept their secrets, who smoothed over their messes, who craved their love, she died right there on their Persian rug. Someone else stood up. Someone with nothing left to lose. No, I said, my voice eerily steady. I won't postpone anything. I walked out, and I didn't look back. I packed a single suitcase. Liam didn't ask questions. He just cleared a drawer and said, stay as long as you need. Forever, maybe, I whispered. That works too. The silence in his apartment was different. It wasn't the heavy, waiting silence of my parents' house. This was peaceful. It gave me room to think, to plan. For a week, I just existed. I slept. I painted furious, black-streaked canvases. Then, one morning, I made coffee and the thought was just there, clear and cold. I'd spent a lifetime holding their dirty laundry. It was time to fold it neatly. I started with the boxes I'd shoved in Liam's storage closet. Old tax documents, my files. I wasn't looking for my things. I was looking for theirs. I found the receipts first. For the lakeside retreat. Dad said it was a fishing trip with clients. The dates matched the 3 weeks Mom told everyone he was at a leadership seminar. I'd found the clinic brochure in his desk years ago. I'd hidden it. Now, I scanned the receipt. Next, my old phone. I charged it, my heart hammering. I had a habit, once, of recording audio memos, ideas for paintings, snippets of song lyrics. I'd forgotten one. I pressed play. My own voice, young and shaky, just trying to capture the light today. A door slams. Mom's voice, razor sharp, filled the tiny speaker, an ungrateful little bitch. After everything I've sacrificed to build this family's name, you want to throw it away on some garbage art school? You are nothing without this family. Nothing. A beat of silence, then the chirp of her phone. Her voice, instantly sweet, melodic, Evelyn Reynolds speaking. Oh, Margaret, darling. Yes, the charity auction plans are just wonderful. I stopped the recording. I felt sick. I'd forgotten that day. I'd buried it. Now, I saved the file. Label, mom_real_voice. The crown jewel was Madison. I remembered it then, in a flash. Her 3rd year of law school. She'd been obsessed with beating a rival, Sarah Gellar, for a prestigious clerkship. She'd called me, giddy. She's out, Cassie. She just got expelled. What? How? Let's just say the ethics committee received a very compelling complaint about plagiarism. With convincing evidence. Did she actually plagiarize? Madison laughed. Does it matter? I won. She'd sent me an email later. Proof of my genius, she wrote. The attached complaint is a work of art. Never delete this. I'd been horrified. I'd archived it and tried to forget. Now, I dug through my old email, fingers trembling. Search, Sarah Gellar. There it was. The forwarded email Madison had sent to the committee, a fabricated chain suggesting academic dishonesty. Her own cover note to me gloating about it was right above. I sat back, breathless. I called Liam's friend, Ben, a litigation lawyer. I gave him the broad strokes. Cassie, you can't use most of this for legal action without it getting ugly, he said carefully. But you're not looking to sue, are you? No. You're looking for leverage. To make them stop. Yes. Then what you have, it's a nuclear deterrent. It's the truth they've paid to keep buried. The right people, a law school dean, a newspaper, their foundation's board would find this very, very interesting. It makes their public image a joke. That's all I need, I said. I compiled it. The receipts. The audio file. The email chain. I placed them in a single, encrypted digital folder. I titled it, The Reynolds Legacy. It wasn't just about exposing lies. It was about exposing the rot. The legacy wasn't built on excellence. It was built on my silence, on buried pain, on convenient facades. I was no longer in pain. I was focused. I picked up my phone. I opened the group chat with my parents and Madison, silent for weeks. I typed 3 words. I didn't hesitate. I hit send. We need to talk. I chose a cafe downtown, all glass and noise. A public place. A neutral place. They were already at the table when I arrived, a united front of 3. Mom's smile was brittle. Cassandra. You look tired. I'm fine. Dad nodded at me. Madison just watched, her eyes calculating. I sat, placing the tablet on the table between us. Madison spoke first, her tone dripping with faux concern. Cassie, if this is about an apology, we can move past this. If you get the help you need. I felt a smile touch my lips, hollow and cold. No. This isn't about an apology. This is an unveiling. I slid the tablet to the center and tapped the screen. First, the receipts. For the lakeside retreat. Funny, Dad. Your fishing trip lined up perfectly with that 3-week rehab stay at Pine Grove. The one Mom called a leadership seminar. I zoomed in on the dates. Dad's face went ash-gray. Cassandra, that's a private medical, Mom began. Second, I said, my voice flat. I tapped the audio file. Her own shrieking voice cut through the cafe's hum. You are nothing without this family. Nothing. Followed by her seamless, sweet transition to a charity call. Her hand flew to her throat. The other patrons glanced over. Turn it off, Dad whispered, stricken. I stopped it. The silence at our table was absolute. And the crown jewel, I said, looking only at Madison. I pulled up the email chain. Her gloating note to me. The fabricated complaint she'd sent to the law school ethics board. The color drained from her face completely. That's a private email. You can't. It's proof, I said. Of your character. She lunged for the tablet. I pulled it back. This is blackmail, she hissed, her mask finally gone, raw fury underneath. It's transparency, I said, my voice eerily calm. I'm giving you a choice. We don't negotiate with, Mom started. You do today, I interrupted, looking at each of them. Here are my terms. 1. You will publicly retract the rumors about me. A joint family statement. You will say it was a misunderstanding you deeply regret, that I am of sound mind and character, and that you support my engagement. 2. You will leave me, and Liam, out of your narrative forever. No mentions. No passive-aggressive posts. We are ghosts to you. Or what? Madison sneered, but her eyes were scared. Or, I said quietly, this entire file, the receipts, the audio, the email, with my explanatory notes, get sent in one click. To Dean Robertson at your alma mater, Madison. To Sarah Geller, who might like to know why she was expelled. To Evelyn Charles at the Chronicle Society desk. And to every major donor on the Reynolds Family Foundation board. Starting with Mr. Higgins. The name of the board chairman made Mom flinch. You'd ruin us, Dad breathed. No, I said. You built your legacy on lies. I just stopped agreeing to hold them up. The ruin is all your own. I watched the understanding break in their eyes. The foundation of their world wasn't stone. It was my silence. And I had taken it back. Madison looked at Mom, a desperate, pleading look. Mom closed her eyes for a long moment. When she opened them, she looked at me not like a daughter, but like a rival who had checkmated her. We'll draft the statement, she said, her voice devoid of all emotion. You have 72 hours, I said. I stood up. Send it to me for approval before you post. I didn't wait for a reply. I walked out into the sunlight. They posted it. The language was florid, full of regrettable miscommunications and unwavering family support. It was humiliating for them. Chloe called me 10 minutes later, full of awkward apologies. I didn't care. My victory wasn't in their hollow words. It was in my quiet apartment. It was in the new art studio Liam helped me build, flooded with real, unforgiving light. I'm painting again. Not dark, chaotic pieces. Not pretty, quiet ones either. They're just, true. The silence here is my own. They targeted my reputation, trying to bury me in their shadows. In return, I didn't destroy them. I didn't have to. I simply stopped holding them up. And the legacy they spent a lifetime building, the one constructed on my bowed back, collapsed under the crushing weight of its own lies.